Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque, and welcome back to Season 3 of Luminous Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we lost one of our lovely cats. Shadow Swirl succumbed to Yellow Cough. This was, I think, the second death we had in a row to Yellow Cough, and because she had so many ties to a lot of the cats in camp, and you know, she was a clan born who was born here and raised with everyone. She had her own kids, raised her own kids into adults, so obviously there were a lot of cats who are sad and are currently in mourning. But we need to get going because the clan needs to move ahead from this grief and this chaos. Our numbers have gotten quite small lately, but we're gonna try to keep going. Godzilla Star, he has some decisions to make in what he's going to do for the next gathering. He's also still trying to get Caribou Streak into the camp, so we'll see how that goes. I think we've failed 3 times already to get Caribou Streak, but he's stubborn. He's chosen this one cat, and he really wants this one cat in. So okay, let's roll the dice to see how he's going to handle the next gathering. Okay, on the D10 we got a, what is this, a 9? So that's Chirp Clan, and we got a 6, thank goodness, on the D8, which means we're going to try and befriend Chirp Clan, who we just ended a war with. Okay, let's skip a moon. As tension thick air hangs low over Shade Clan border, until Godzilla Star finally declares a war with Shade Clan. Godzilla Star, are you in your right mind? This is the 3rd war with Shade Clan we are going into. Okay. Another leader might have done differently, but not Godzilla Star. During the gathering, Godzilla Star does his best to get on Chirp Clan's good side, so Chirp Clan relations have improved. And finally, when Luminous Clan finds him, Caribou Streak is highly skeptical of his old clanmates' offer to return. The clanmates that drove him from his nest, from his home, now want him to return. Warily, Caribou Streak allows himself to be led back to camp. Now, this is a cat who temporarily passed through Luminous Clan to get inside the mountain to where the Lightless cats were. I'm still not sure if he is someone who's come from outside the mountain or if he was born within the Lightless group, but whatever the case is, I'm assuming that he had a fallout with the Lightless cats after we led him there, and maybe he kind of got kicked out of that settlement and has been wandering around on his own inside the mountain. So let's actually take a look at Caribou Streak, because I feel like this cat has been quite mysterious for a few moons now. But you guys will recognize him, because I think it was in this season, if not the last season, where he came into, like, we came across him during patrols, and then we helped to lead him to the Lightless cats. So here we go, Caribou Streak. I don't know if you guys remember, but he has some very bold coloring. And it's fascinating because he's also a bold cat who is a great teacher and a good mediator. Sage eyes, a single stripe pelt, 94 moons old, so he's an adult. Now he was formerly a kitty pet. Okay, so he was one of the cats that came in from the outside, was trying to find a way into the mountain. We came across him during patrols. We guided him through the Crystal River to where the other Lightless cats are, and then he must have had a falling out with the Lightless cats and has been wandering around like the inside of the mountain on his own. But it's okay, because now we've managed to find him. It also makes sense if he was lost in those tunnels, why it was taking us flippin' forever, but after moons of searching, we have finally found him. So he is going to actually be paired up with Orchidshine. That's who Godzilla Star has selected for this time around. And hopefully she likes this mate a lot better. I mean, he is a lot younger. He's very vibrant looking, like very appealing visually, you know. And who knows, he might have a personality. That boldness might match her strict streak. So we'll have to see. Or maybe we should say, you know, his bold streak is going to match her strict shine. Okay. Let's go ahead and check out the Medicine Cat Den to see how cats are doing. Plum Raven was given Poppy as treatment for Grief Stricken. Stone Speck was given Poppy as treatment for running nose. Stone Speck was given Poppy as treatment for Grief Stricken. Cloudfur was given Poppy as treatment for Grief Stricken. Magpie Heart was given Poppy as treatment for Grief Stricken. Torn Fern was given Thyme as treatment for Grief Stricken. And Buttercup Dusk gathered Melon and Plantain this moon. So you can kind of see, because of the 2 deaths we had back to back, there were both cats that the clan was very attached to, Canary Snap and Shadow Swirl. But actually, I think a lot of this, almost all of this grieving, is specifically for Shadowswell. Canary Snap, his immediate family mourned him, but I don't think a lot of the other cats did. Whereas Shadowswell was tied to a lot of cats. So okay, let's check out relationships and see what's happening here. During a patrol, Plumraven and Blissfur share a piece of prey that is too small to bring back to camp. Though Plumraven has been unhappy with Sunchill, Plumraven helps him with something. Caribou Streak helps Buttercup Dusk hide from a clanmate. Okay, so he's already making kind of a good impression on some of the cats. Buttercup Dusk and Lupine Claw fight over a piece of prey, but soon decide to share it instead. Blissfur's good morning to Stonespeck meant a lot to her. Stonespeck had a difficult conversation with Firepaw and they both ended up resentful of one another. That's not good. Stonespeck promises Buttercup Dusk to always be there to protect him with her life. That is very sweet and romantic, especially as the first of Buttercup Dusk's current mates. And then, you know, I don't know if I've seen them interact too much. Or actually, no, Stonespeck and Buttercup Dusk, they have been quite frequent in the interactions. The cat that I don't think I've noticed have too much interactions with Buttercup Dusk is Plumraven, who is Stonespeck's mother, ever since she became Buttercup Dusk's second mate. I haven't seen her and Buttercup Dusk interact too much, so I really don't know what's going on in that front. I also don't know if I've noticed too many interactions between Stonespeck and Plumraven. So it's almost as though they're kind of staying out of each other's way after they've started sharing a mate. They're kind of like tiptoeing around one another. Cloudfur is fascinated by one of Plumraven's stories. Tornfern hit Cloudfur on the face with a tail while passing by. Lupine Claw and Pepper debated something interesting for hours yesterday. Lupine Claw is grateful that Firepaw has kept a secret of hers. Her daughter and apprentice has kept a secret of hers. Guys. I wonder, you know, obviously as part of training, Lupine Claw is going to be teaching her daughter about Star Clan, about the Dark Forest, and going into all of these details. And I wonder if the secret that Firepaw is keeping is actually Lupine Claw's confession of murdering Burrowshine, her aunt, when she was an apprentice herself. So I wonder if Firepaw is the one and only cat that Lupine Claw, like, it's her last, well, you know, excluding siblings and parents, her last family. You know, this is a family that she made and had, Firepaw, the lone child. And now her mate Canary Snap is dead as well. I think Lupine Claw, as part of the teaching and maybe wanting to get, like, some of the burden off of her shoulders regarding that, or maybe feeling guilty. Actually, now that I don't think she's worried about ending up in the Dark Forest before, because she just didn't care. But ever since she had her mate who died, who she was in love with, Canary Snap, he's going to be in Star Clan. I think Lupine Claw is feeling like a burden and a responsibility to tell Firepaw what Star Clan, like explain Star Clan in more depth, but also explain to her daughter that, you know, if something does take Lupine Claw away from her in this life, then she will not be able to meet her daughter in Star Clan, and Firepaw would be asking her questions about why that is, and Lupine Claw, I think, would have to confess that, you know, she killed her aunt when she was very young, and because of that, the cats in Star Clan are not going to accept her there, and she is going to spend her afterlife in the Dark Forest. She knows that's coming for her, and she doesn't want, like, Firepaw to ever, you know, and like later on in life, if she ends up in Star Clan and wonders where her mother is, she doesn't want Firepaw to have that grief of not knowing. So I think that's why Star Clan confessed the murder to her daughter, and Firepaw promised to keep this secret of hers, because at the end of the day, that's her mother, and she doesn't care. She has not seen this vicious side of her mother. She's only seen this bold side of her mother, this charismatic side that she has taken a lot after and she has learned to love. So I don't think she's going to want her mother to be vulnerable. And maybe Firepaw now is going to make the most of her time with Lupine Claw, knowing that this life is the last life they spend together. When Firepaw eventually passes, she's going to be reunited with her father, Canary Snap, but not with her mother. That is very sad now that I think about it. Okay, Orchidshine notices how Lupine Claw is being helpful around camp. Orchidshine got a bunch of cats after morning stretches. They didn't like it. Orchidshine is always happy to be around Tornfern. Magpie Heart always brings food to Pepper so he doesn't have to walk to the fresh kill pile, which is very sweet because Pepper is one of our retired elder cats. Firepaw snitches on Magpie Heart for something minor. Pepper is hurt by one of Caribou Streak's pranks, but Caribou Streak doesn't seem to believe him. Okay, so Caribou Streak was getting along well with one of our clan cats, but not with one of the outsiders, Pepper. I mean, when I say clan cats, typically refer to like the clan born, and the outsiders are cats like Pepper who have been brought in, so the lightless cats, you know? Pepper notices Lupine Claw doing something generous. Godzilla Star doesn't think there's ever a dull moment with Firepaw. Godzilla Star started a huge argument between Sunchill and Stone Speck. Okay, that was not very nice, Godzilla Star. Orchidshine motivated Godzilla Star to get out of his nest this morning. Blissfur and Firepaw bring each other prey. Sunchill is sparring with Cloudfur. Caribou Streak saw Pepper ignore someone. Caribou Streak got a bunch of cats after morning stretches, and before that, Caribou Streak played a prank on Pepper, and Pepper didn't like it. And now Pepper has been ignoring someone. Caribou Streak didn't like it. So these two have already had 2 negative interactions. They don't seem to have a very good impression of each other. Caribou Streak and Blissfur find out they're both bringing flowers to the same clanmate's grave. So I assume both of them went to take flowers to Shadow Swell's grave. And see, look, Caribou Streak again is having a really good, positive interaction with a clan-born cat. Blissfur uses one of Daisy Quake's fears against him. Tornfern wishes she could get her pelt to shine like Blissfur's, and an issue becomes benign when Firepaw remembers Lupine Claw's advice. Look at that. So Firepaw, obviously has a really good bond with her mother as a mentor, as well as her parent. And so she is listening to Mother's advice. And I kind of like the idea that now that she knows the reality of her mother's situation, she is even more attentive to her and pretty much everything she does and says, because it's almost as though Firepaw wants to memorize that part of her parent. So okay, that's all we have for events. Let me cut the recording here and we'll catch up in the cat list. Okay, let's continue with the cat list. We'll start off with the loyalties. The only change we've had is that Blissfur has once more decided to become a loyalist of Godzilla Star. I think this is just her maybe temporarily approving of the fact that Godzilla Star finally managed to get this cat that he was trying to get and has been talking about for a long time for Orchidshine, and they can all kind of meet him. And she's excited that, the clan has hope now for the future, for more kittens and growing even more. So that's probably why she is being supportive of Godzilla Star. So let's actually start off. We won't be able to do any mediation because Stone Speck is down, but we can pair up our cats. So Caribou Streak, we'll get him and we will pair him up, or Godzilla Star is going to pair him up with Orchidshine. And it says they're incompatible, so we're going to have to see how Orchidshine feels about Caribou Streak, but I love his appearance and I really hope she does like him. But she is bold, he is strict. I kind of like the idea that compared to the last cat, Melon, Caribou Streak is actually going to be able to kind of fight some of that strictness. And he's not going to be as shy or kind of hang back with Orchidshine. He might be able to challenge her and kind of, help create some chemistry that way. So I'll have to see how that works. But we are going to pair them up and we'll see how they go. Now, the change we have between this episode and the next one is going to be on their shoulders because, like I said, we don't have a mediator right now. But let's go see what everyone's doing for the day. Okay, so Godzilla Star is enjoying the warmth of New Leaf. Plum Raven wishes she could take the day off. Buttercup Dusk is tending some growing herbs. Stone Speck feels pride for her work. Cloudfur is picking burrs from her pelt. Caribou Streak complains about being sent on dawn patrol. I think he's gonna have to get used to, his life over here as a clan cat who needs to go out on patrols. Magpie Heart got scared by a mouse while hunting. Lupine Claw is looking forward to finding more prey as the snow melts. Orchid Shine is drinking water from a nearby stream. Sunchill daydreams about being a warrior in Lion Clan. Blissfur didn't get enough sleep. Tornfern has no time for new harebrained hunting techniques. Daisyquake is looking forward to finding more prey as the snow melts. So Daisyquake, you are hanging out with... Who are you hanging out with? Lupine Claw. Okay, Daisyquake is hanging out with Lupine Claw. Firepaw, today is just not Firepaw's day, so she's not feeling too good. And Pepper sits alone in the Elder's Den. Okay, so that's what we have for the cat list. Let's cut the recording here and continue with patrols. Okay, let us resume with patrols. We currently have 146 prey and we need 40, so we don't have to worry about food. Let's send Buttercup Dusk, the medicine cat, out first, and then I'm very curious to see whose patrol Caribou Streak is going to end up in, whether or not he's going to be with Orchid Shine. Might be a good chance for them to, you know, develop some relationship between the two of them. But okay, New Leaf has brought new life to Luminous Clan's territory, and Buttercup Dusk heads out to gather fresh mallow for the stores. Proceed. The weedy-looking mallow doesn't seem to be recovering well from the leaf bear this year, and it worries Buttercup Dusk. And now let's see, we're going to have a patrol of 6 and 2. It's going to be like too perfect if Caribou Streak and Orchid Shine end up together. I don't think they will, but it would be nice even if on the big patrol they were kind of together. But first up we have... Ah, darn it. Okay, so the deputy has decided otherwise. Or I suppose the clan leader is kind of taking charge because the deputy is down. So Godzilla Star has decided that distance makes the heart grow fonder. So on his patrol, he has Firepaw. So actually, Lupine Claw has also decided that she is going to send her daughter on the bigger patrol to learn something from the other cats. So we have Firepaw, Godzilla Star, Sunchill, Blissfur, Daisyquake, and Caribou Streak heading out together. So let's see what they get up to. There's a spring in their steps as the cats head out. Today looks like a good day for hunting. Proceed. The hunting is easy and the company is good. That spring is still just as present in the steps as the patrol heads back to camp, though perhaps the amount of prey they're all carrying makes it harder to see. A huge amount of prey is brought to camp, so that's really good. I think that would have been a great kind of introduction to the clan for Caribou Streak because they didn't want to go on patrol, but then patrol actually ended up being really fun and productive. And then we have Orchid Shine and Lupine Claw going out on a patrol. So okay, let's see what these two get up to. Lupine Claw suggests this might be a good chance to practice new hunting techniques with Orchid Shine. Proceed. Lupine Claw shows Orchid Shine a slightly different pouncing variant she's fond of. I actually love this because these two are sisters and I don't think they've had too much time to spend one-on-one, so it's kind of nice that they're being able to bond this way. And you know, they're also tied in a lot of ways to the like recent matings or breedings that have happened. Both of them were in line to have litters under Godzilla Star, and both of them were assigned to the same old cat, like the same old outsider was brought in for them to be a mate, and that was Melon. And Lupine Claw rejected Melon, had him kicked out. He was brought back again for his sister Orchid Shine, and Orchid Shine, you know, she didn't have, I think, the boldness of Lupine Claw or the cunning of Lupine Claw to kick him out, but she retaliated and resisted that match completely until he died. So I think this would also be a good chance for the sisters to kind of gossip a little bit and talk about that, update each other on how they feel about recent events that have happened in their own lives, and also maybe the impression they might have of Caribou Streak. I really like that. So okay, that is patrols done for us. We have 222.8 prey now, which is amazing. But okay guys, with that said and done, I'm gonna leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.